Good morning, all of you. This is Rachna Saxena from Faculty of Education, Tirthankar Mahavir University, Muradabad. In my last lecture, I have described techniques of pre-service education, especially teacher education. Now, in the present lecture, I will describe techniques of in-service teacher education. We already know what is teacher education. In-service teacher education is designed to support and enhance the skill of teachers who are already in the profession. It focuses on continuous professional development, aiming to keep educators updated with the latest educational practices, theories, and development. They do the work of additional knowledge. It It focuses on the continuous professional development, aiming to keep educators updated with the latest education practices, theories, and technologies. Here are the several key techniques used in inter-service teacher education with detailed description. So, I will take the very first name, professional development, workshop and seminar. Professional development workshop provide teachers with hands-on experiences and practical strategies to implement in their classroom. These workshops often focus on specific topics such as new teaching methodologies, classroom management techniques, or the integration of technology. Workshops are typically interactive, allowing them to practice new skills and discuss their application with peers. Seminars. Seminars often involve presentations by experts or researchers in the field of education. They provide a platform for teachers to learn about recent developments, research findings, and innovative practices. Seminars can be valuable opportunities for the teachers to engage with thought leaders, ask questions, and gain insights into emerging trends and best practices. Now, my second technique is peer collaboration and professional learning communities. Peer collaboration. Peer collaboration involves teachers working together to share ideas, resources, and strategies. This can be done through informal meetings or structured activities such as lesson study group. By collaborating with colleagues, teachers can gain new perspectives, solve common problems, and refine their teaching practices based on shared experience. Now I'm talking about PLS, Professional Learning Communities. PLCs are structured group where educators engage in ongoing discussions about teaching and learning. They often focus on specific goals or challenges such as improving students' outcomes or implementing few curricula. Members of PLCs collaborate to analyze student data, develop and test new strategies, and reflect on their practices. This collaborative approach fosters a culture of continuous improvement and collective problem solving. Now, my next point is mentoring and coaching. Mentoring involves pairing experienced teacher with less experienced or new teachers. Mentors always provide guidance, support, and feedback, helping mentees navigate the challenges of teaching. Mentoring relationship can be formal or informal, and they offer opportunities for the professional growth through observation, discussion, and shared experiences. Now I'm coming on the next thing, and this is coaching. Coaching is a more targeted form of support compared to mentoring. Coaches always work with teachers to address specific areas or needs to improve. Coaching sessions often involve observation of teaching practices followed by feedback and discussion. Coaches may also help them to set goals, develop action plan and implement new strategies. This technique focuses on personalized support to enhance teachers' effectiveness in their classroom. Coaching is another support and more targeted form to support compared to mentoring. Coaches works with teachers to address specific areas of need and improvement, and these sessions often involves observations of teaching practices followed by feedback and discussion. They also help teachers to set goals, develop action plans and implement new strategies. This technique focuses on personalized support to enhance teachers' effectiveness in their classroom. Now, my next technique is online professional development. When I talk about the online things, I'm having two things in my mind, and this is e-learning modules and webinars. Online professional development modules allow them to engage with content at their own pace. These modules often include videos, readings, and interactive activities that cover various topics such as instructional strategies, classroom management, or educational technology. E-learning provides flexibility and accessibility, enabling them to fit professional development into their busy schedules. Webinars are live or recorded online seminars that offer teachers the opportunities to learn from experts and participate in discussion. They also cover a wide range of topics and often include interactive elements such as question answer sessions. They provide a convenient way for the teachers to stay informed about current trends and practices in education. Now, here is the next point, and this is action research and inquiry based learning. When I talk about action research, it involves teachers systematically investigating their own practices to improve teaching and learning process. Teachers identify the specific issue or question, gather and analyze data, implement change and reflect on the result. This technique allows them to engage in evidence-based practice and make informed decisions about their teaching strategies. Now, my next point is inquiry-based learning. It encourages teachers to explore educational questions and challenges through research and experimentation. This approach involves posing questions, concluding investigations, and reflecting on findings. Inquiry-based learning promotes a culture of curiosity and continuous improvement, helping teachers to adapt their practices based on new sites and evidence. Now I'm coming the next thing, and this is conferences and conventions. Educational conferences bring together educators from various regions and specialties to share knowledge, research, and best practices. Conferences typically feature keynote speakers, breakout sessions, and networking opportunities. Attending conferences allow them to learn about new developments in action in education, connect with peers, and gain inspiration from their own practice. Convention often focus on specific aspects of education such as subject area or grade levels. They provide targeted professional development opportunities and allow them to dive deeply into practical topics. Conventions may include workshops, panel discussions, and exhibits showcasing educational resources and innovations. Now, the next point is curriculum and instructional material development. So, I will discuss the very first curriculum development. In-service training may include Teachers in the development and revision of the curriculum. Teachers work collaboratively to design, review, and update curriculum material to ensure they meet current education standards and address students' needs. Involvement in curriculum development help them to align their instruction with educational goals and improve the relevance of their teaching material. Now the second is instructional materials. Training in the development and use of instructional materials help them to create or select resources that enhance their teaching. This can include developing lesson plan, designing multimedia presentations, or creating educational tools too. Effective use of educational material support, engaging and effective teaching practice. Now my next point is classroom management and students engagement technique. Classroom management. Classroom management is also necessary point of it. Professional development in classroom management focuses on strategies to create a positive and productive learning environment. This includes techniques for managing students' behavior, establishing routines, and fostering a respectful classroom culture. Training in classroom management helps them to handle disruptions and maintain an orderly learning environment. Second point is students' engagement. Techniques for increasing students' engagement involve strategies to make lesson more interactive and motivating. Professional development may include training in differentiated instruction, active learning techniques, and the use of technology in engaged students. Effective students engagement strategies help them to capture students' interest and encourage active participation in learning. Now my next technique is special education and inclusive practice. Special education training. In service education for special education focuses on strategies and practice to support them with diverse learning needs. Teachers learn about individualized education plans, means IEPs, differentiated instruction, and accommodations to support students with disabilities. This training always helps them to provide equitable access to education for all the students. Inclusive practice. Professional development in inclusive practices equips teachers with skills to create classrooms that accommodate and support all the students, including those with a special need. This includes strategies for adapting teaching methods, fostering an inclusive classroom environment, and collaborating with specialists and families. Now I'm coming on my last point, and this is reflective practice and continuous improvement. Reflective practice. Encouraging teachers to reflect on their own practice is essential for professional development or growth. Reflective practice involves analyzing teaching experiences, identifying success and challenges, and make adjustment based on insight. This ongoing reflection helps teachers continuously improve with this practice and adapt to changes needs. Now my next point is continuous improvement. Professional development emphasizes the importance of continuous improvement through regular evaluations and update to teaching practice. Teachers are encouraged to seek feedback, engage in lifelong learning, and stay current with professional or educational research and trends. Continuous improvement ensures that teachers remain effective and responsive to their students' needs. Now I'm concluding this idea. In service teacher education employs a range of techniques to support the ongoing development of educators with who are doing their work. By incorporating workshop, peer collaboration, mentoring, online learning, action research, conferences, curriculum development, classroom management strategies, special education training, and reflective practice, in-service programs aim to enhance teachers' skill, knowledge, and effectiveness. These techniques help teachers to stay current with educational advancement, address diverse students' needs, and continually improve their teaching practice. This is all about the techniques of in-service teacher education. Thank you so much.